Spies. This is a print and play game that you can print off at home yourself. The way that this works, the game takes place over 8 rounds. There are 3 phases to each round. First off, we're all going to start by drawing a triangle in any one of the squares on our 4x4 grid. The main grid that you see on Dustin's board there is the grid that you use for your own movement. There's also a grid down below that you use to track your target, and notes that you can write stuff down alongside that. You'll put a triangle, an upright triangle, on the room that you get to start in. You get to pick any room you want.
Any room?
Any room you want. And then we'll start the game. The travel phase, you will move to an adjacent orthogonal room with an arrow. And then we move on to the mission phase. Oh, once you exit a room, you cannot re-enter it. You also cannot move or cross through any solid walls. You must move to a new room each turn, and if you can't move to a new room, you have to use the extraction action. To extract, you can basically teleport to any other room on the board, but when you do that, you have to announce to the table what room you are leaving. Then the travel phase is done, then we move on to the mission phase. You'll make a decision during the mission phase to either complete the mission in the room you're in by drawing a circle around that room. That's worth points at the end of the game. Or sabotage your target in that room. And that will be a multiplier for your final score at the end of the game. Every successful sabotage. To sabotage, you draw a square around the icon. You draw a circle around the icon, excuse me. If you want to complete the mission, draw a square around the icon to sabotage that mission. Sabotage missions are successful if your target completes a mission in the same room.
Okay.
Otherwise, you get no multiplier on the sabotage. After the mission phase, we move on to the clue phase. We take turns asking our target one question on your sheet.
Oh, okay.
And you'll see down in the bottom left there, Dustin, if you move the shield out of the way. Down in the bottom left, you got a list of 8 questions, so 1 for each round. You can ask them in any order, but you can only ask each one once per game. Then you cross it off. And the target has to answer honestly. After then you can take notes on your target board or in your notes column, whatever you want to do.
Okay, so target's just notes?
Yeah, just for keeping track of what you think you know about your target. That's what that whole section of your player board is for. After everybody's asked questions and taken their notes, then we start the next round with a new travel phase.
Cool.
Once we've finished 8 rounds, we move on to final scoring. Final scoring, you get completed missions are worth 1 point for each completed mission.
Mm-hmm.
Then you count the number of times you sabotage a mission that your target completed and add 1. Then you will multiply the number of completed missions to that number. So your sabotages are a multiplier. You're going to get 1 point for all your completed missions regardless. But then you'll add 1 to the multiplier for every successful sabotage, and that multiplies your final score.
Perfect.
You will also, at the end of the game, before we reveal our boards and stuff, announce where you think your target ended. If you're right, like dead on right, you get an extra 5 points.
Gotcha.
If you are adjacent to them, you get an extra 3 points. And whoever has the highest score wins. Hey, thanks for hanging out. If you want to spend more time with us, do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, head on over to twitch.tv/BNB Tabletop and give us a follow there. We play board games live every Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a show we call The Board and Barrel. And we like to keep things interactive. You guys can influence what happens throughout the course of a game with our Buff and Nerf house rules. You can also make predictions on how things are going to pan out, play virtual bingo for a chance to win a free board game of your own, and heckle us and stuff from the chat. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you Sunday night.